Hello and welcome to ARK, a complete series. Well, we're on the Genesis ship and, well, we haven't really got much done, to be honest. I mean, I've been spending most of the time looking around for things, you know, somewhere to build a base, and we've kind of given ourselves a bit of a foothold here. I've at least got a bed in case we die so I can respawn. And I've got Rainbow and Aussie out now, but I've also done a dino wipe. I'm not sure. For whatever reason, we ended up with I think it was a Dodo level 4, I think it was in the previous episode. So I could tell there was something wrong, so I've done a dino wipe. And as luck would have it, well, aside from the fact that it actually worked, if that thing would come back up again... Oh, you're back again. So there's a 145 Maywing over there, so that's interesting, I must admit. But I've also noticed... I've got some loot drops over there, so the plan was I was going to use Rainbow here to help me start building this base. I mean, the long-term plan is I really want to do it out in tech, foundations, tech ceilings, that sort of stuff, but you've got to start somewhere, and I don't really want to repeat what I've done with the other maps. I mean, I was making my life a lot easier jumping from one map to another and just basically, you know, using a previous map to get all of the resources I need, make up all of the actual items I need, things like, you know, the foundations and so on, all the actual crafting devices, doing all the kibble farming on another map and so on, just to save me time. But, well, this is the last map in the ARK game, or at least for the original ARK. It's the last official DLC that gets released. So I thought actually I'll just go back to basics. So I'm not going to be bringing anything in from a previous map other than just a few dinos to help me out. But there's no intention of bringing across like utility dinos. So, I mean, I've got things like the mining drill, the chainsaw that'll help me now. But yeah, I'm quite tempted to tame up one of those striders. The only catch is, I'm just double checking Rainbow's not following me. The catch is, yeah, you need to do missions first, and you've got to do quite a few missions, presumably depending on the actual level and what that strider can do. So I'm just going to start from scratch. Basically, I'm just going to use those tools that I've got. I'll have to find oil, for example, to be able to keep topping up the chainsaw. The mining drill, I'm trying to remember what that uses gasoline as well. So yes, we'll have to start making our own gasoline at some point. But out of curiosity, I want to see what these loot drops have got, because when I first got on the map, the loot drops were all kind of like an orangey colour. It might be to do with a summer event that's going on, I'm not sure, but this is a different colour as well. I haven't noticed this colour before. Can you park yourself down there, mate? Ooh, that's some useful junk. We don't need any of these things. I mean, we're level 134. I mean, so I mean, it makes sense if you're starting from scratch. But I'm doing I'm doing a sort of like a complete playthrough. So we've been right the way through the actual maps. We started off on the island and we worked our way right the way through. So we're on the last DLC now, and I do still need to go back to finish Extinction, for example. I still need to do the beta and the alpha of the actual King Titan. For whatever reason, it just seems a lot harder, and it's taking a lot longer to try and tame those Titans than it did last time, as far as I can tell anyway. But we're just pressing on, because I want to see how the story plays out, what it all ends in, and then we'll probably be going back. I mean, at some point I'll be going back to Genesis 1, because there's still some dinos there to tame up, missions to do and so on that I never got round to finishing off. But we need to get started here, and that means building our base. So I'm just having a quick look to see what these kind of loot crates have got, to be honest. Oh wow, that's a lot of metal. Can you move? Oh, you can still. That's interesting, that. So some of it's just garbage. I mean, if I had a fabricator, that would be good. Oh no, that is useful. Now that could save me a lot of hassle then. if I can get tech dwarf, if I can get like tech building infrastructure, that would save me a lot of hassle. Look at that, 135 metal ingots as well from that loot drop. Crikey, that's pretty good. Trouble is, I think now that's something I've noticed as well. We're getting XP from something, and I'm not sure what it is. I don't know if it's, I wasn't paying attention. Maybe it is actually the loot crates or something. Because I was wandering around the map in the previous episode trying to figure out why I was getting XP all of a sudden, because I hadn't noticed that. Now I'm getting disoriented because I've only just started on this map, so I'm trying to get a feel for where we are. So I'm trying to figure out where we are to find out where I need to go to get back to base, because there's that little drop over there. Now that could be a massive change, because when we did Genesis 1, you could get quite a lot of stuff out of the missions, but you couldn't grind it. You could get things out of the loot crates which you could grind. Now that was useful. And by those sort of loot crates, I'm talking about the ones you actually purchase from Helena as part of our Hexagon store. But these loot crates here, now that's a big difference. Having said that, I'm using S+. I prefer to use S+ over the normal things, but yeah, I mean, if I had a grinder now, I could actually grind those things down. Now that's a bit of an incentive then. So where are we up to then, Ozzy? We've still got a ways to go. So I think what we're going to do then is we're just going to head back to base. I'm going to drop this stuff off. I like the way we just keep sticking up above Ozzy's hat here. But we're going to head back. I think I'll pick that other loot crate up once I've dropped some of this stuff off, because I am very much tempted to sort of like start setting up a bit of storage so I can keep a few things to one side, and then when we do get a grinder, that's going to make my life a bit easier. I mean, I've got the engram points to make one, but I think they're pretty expensive as far as I recall. Actually, let's have a look. What is it? So if we look at the metal grinder, it's an industrial grinder. So one of those is going to set you back, oh wow, 3,200 metal ingots. I've yet to find most of those items, including polymer. So it might be a long way off being able to do that then. But I mean, you need to make it in a fabricator as well. So yeah, I think we're going to be back. We're going to be back in the Stone Age, mate. Here. So we're going to get Ozzy back to base eventually, and then I think what I want to do is I'm just going to go around and we're just going to start gathering stone, wood, thatch, and so on. Get ourselves a reasonable bit of storage where I can store that sort of stuff in. And then I think what I'll do is I'm going to deck out that flooring that we've got. Possibly I'll leave the roof area till last, because I don't necessarily need any dinos. I'm not planning to breed any in this episode, that's for certain. And then once I get that foundation put down, the plan is at least I can replace it and swap it out at a later date with the actual tech foundations, because that's what I want to do longer term. But you've got to start somewhere, so we've got a lot of grinding to do to get a lot of resources. We've been out and about gathering resources, and I just remembered actually the S+ crafting stations are really good for storing things in, because you've got 300 slots. So I've been dumping things into here. So aside from having a bed, we've now got some extra storage. I'm just using that one over there just to basically store my gear in. And I've also just remembered actually we needed an actual feeding trough for this lot, otherwise everyone's going to starve, and I probably will at some point if I don't sort that out. But what I'm going to do is I've got some foundations just to at least get started with. Because I say the long-term goal is really I want to do the actual tech stuff, but I just kind of somehow line things up a bit. I can at least get the basic foundations down. Now, does that look seems reasonably straight. I mean, fortunately it'll go through the wall anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. In fact, actually that's a thought. Maybe I should really be lining it up with the wall rather than that bit of the structure that's sticking out a bit. So if we align it with that, it seems a bit better, I think. So the plan is I just want to get those foundations down because we want to build things. There's a big gap here anyway. Boobar. Right, let's have a look. If I can move further out, then I might be able to get a better... yeah, if I can move a bit further out. So let's bring that forward. So it's not quite straight. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it's...
Feeling a bit lighter now?
Ooh! Can't believe you just said that. So if we move it to... That actually seems a bit better. It's just so sort of like sensitive to movement. So if I line it up on that point there, maybe. It's like being back on the island again, it's raining. Right, so we need to wiggle that a bit that way, I think. Nope, we'll go that way. Too far. I think that'll do. I mean, it seems straight enough for me. So if I slide it that way, then I can't see anything. Might be better to, probably been better if I'd started on the left rather than the right, because it's just the camera angle's getting in the way. But the plan is I want to put foundations down so I can at least start putting my equipment down. I mean, the place is really big anyway. So I suppose if I start in one corner, I can always aim to replace it at a later date. Just see if that's still... Yeah, that seems fine. So if I start dragging this a bit further back, I quite like it there because it kind of just about gets into the wall. Right, so then I don't have to keep messing around with this camera angle now. Oh, boobar, I've just realised what I should have done is I should have lined it up. Grrr! I should have lined it up with the front anyway. What was I thinking? I lined it up with the wall and then I just put it against the wall. I was supposed to line it up against the front and the wall. Duh. Right. Start again. Right, that's just no, not even close. Hang on. Right, bring it closer. That'll be a bit better. Right, it doesn't look quite close enough. So I think we need to go a bit further that way. slightly too far to the right, I think. I think that'll just about do. Otherwise I'll be here till Christmas. If I keep trying to line everything up perfectly. Right, so if I bring it back to here. So I'll line the first one up to here, but I'll have to bring it to the front. Yeah, it seems a bit. I don't know if it'll stay straight against the wall though. Yeah, because it looks like we're drifting off the wall. I think it's going to be very difficult to try and do that sort of thing. Well, it's not too bad. Because the trouble is, I don't even know if this is... I don't even know if the actual structure's straight, let alone what I'm doing. It'll look different anyway once I put the tech stuff down. Yep. Seriously drifting here. Right, put that one there. That one there. That one there. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. It'll have to do, otherwise I say I'll be here at Christmas if I keep doing that. Right, so I'm going to deck out this area with more of these stone foundations, because then as long as I can get a reasonably flat area, if I pick out one sort of corner to do with the stone, then I can start putting in you know, all the gear I need to actually make things. We've got to start, you know, melting iron and all sorts. The metal that we get to be able to turn into metal ingots, there's a lot of stuff to do. So yeah, back to more grinding of the stone, the wood, the thatch that all goes into making this stuff. It looks like whoever's in control of this place has taken us to another planet. It looks pretty frozen, that place. I'm assuming they're looking for places to sort of like get a land or something. But anyway, what I've done is I've just put down a basic 5x5 area over here, and I've just put a fence down because I don't want to fall off. I'm not too bad, to be honest, because I mean it's we've got tech gear on anyway, or this stuff, which is it's actually seems better than tech. But it's one thing I like is it looks like, because I'm swimming around here, it looks like I'll be able to get a water intake in there, and then I'll be able to use that. So I'll reserve that part over there for probably an industrial cooker. In which case, I think what I might do is then start building out things like a crafting area. So we're going to need a lot of things. I mean, I'm just going to leave the storage over there, because I mean, yes, plus I can pull things from all the way over there, it seems, which is good. But I don't know if I've got the materials yet. Now we did get some metal ingots from that loot drop. Ah, good. While I'm at it, I'll make another crafting station. Because at the moment I'm just using the ones over there to store things in, but I do need somewhere where I can actually make and craft things. So we go and put our smithy down over here. So I can't remember off the top of my head exactly how big the industrial cooker needs to be, but this is all going to get replaced anyway at some point. Is that glitched into there? No, it's not even remotely straight. Let's put that back down again then. That's a bit better. And then I'll put a crafting station down over here. So at least I've got somewhere now to actually make things. Oh, I'm not in camera mode. Put that there. Right, so we can start to craft things over here and here. We're just going to sleep over there for now. Right, okay, well that's a good start. So, what else can we do then? Right, so we're going to have to start looking for things like... now that's a thought. A forge, what's a forge? I need to have a look for a forge. I think we've got enough to make, say, 2 of them. No, I'm gonna have to get more stone, but at least I can get some forges going, and then we can start to melt them, the actual metal, and turn it into ingots. Because there's some metal fairly close by. So right, we're gonna have to go out and get more resources. Managed to get quite a bit of extra stone. There's actually a yellow drop just next to the base, so we got a few bits and pieces from there. I actually got a blueprint which I don't particularly need for the rocket launcher, but again, it's a temptation that we really want an industrial grinder on this map. Right, so let's see if we can make some forges then, just to get us going. So yeah, there was a yellow drop just down there, and then there was another one spawned right the way over there, which I haven't gone to, but would be very useful. Right, plunk that one. Put that one there. And wiggle it around to there. Then we'll do the next one just next to it. Yeah, you can see that that stone isn't up against the base. Foobar. Never mind. Thought I'd aligned it with the side, but it's not. Yeah, that's a bit frustrating. Oh well, I mean, I can probably put some into the side just to block it off. I mean, as I say, it's not long term anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Right, let's see, what do we got in terms of metal then? No, that's not bad. I'll pull. Grab some from that one as well. I don't think we've got any oil. That'll do. We got any wood? Woody wood. So I'm going to need gunpowder, so I'm going to have to go out and get more wood to keep these things going. Right, I'll pull that from the crafting station, and we'll get the wood as well. Right, at least we're going in terms of metal ingots, so what else can we do then? Oh yes, we're going to need at some point. We need to make spark powder, so I'm going to have to make some mortar and pestles. Assuming I've got the actual engrams for them. Yes, I do. Because we're good way of making a chemistry bench. I mean, I've got the obviously the level and so on, but we're into needing quite a bit, so I haven't found anywhere yet to cementing paste. Electronics, I could probably, if there's any technical things wandering around, I could get that. Polymer I haven't found either yet. So it's going to be mortar and pestles for now. Right, so I need hide and stone. Yeah, I've got enough to make 2 of them. I'll just put these down on this top of this crafting station. They don't seem to mind if we put them next to each other. Right, so I've got the engrams for spark power, so... Oh yeah, got enough to make 100 of them. So the cementing paste, either painting or keratin. I wonder if I've got any for that. No, because we haven't been beating anybody up on this map really yet. That's where we need to get that from. What else can we be doing? So I mean the cooking, oh that's a thought. That's a thought. Do we have a cooking station? So we can make a cooking pot. We can at least get one of those. Oh, not enough wood, so we'll have to go and get some wood to make a cooking pot. So we've got our forges. So let's see, so... Yeah, so I need a cooking station. I think that's the... Yeah, that's probably what I'm going to have to do, is just go and get a few... Ooh, better remember that one. Alright, well, I'll tell you what. I'll go and get some more resources, because then... That's at least the very least thing I need is a cooking station and a campfire. We've managed to gather a few more items, so the plan is probably end up putting an industrial cooker over there. So I think for now what I'm going to do is we're going to get a cooking pot built. That'll do me. And we'll get a campfire made, because then at least I can start making my own food. So that's that. Yeah, we'll get a campfire. Right, so I'll grab that. Oops, didn't want to do that. Last thing I want is, well, I'm assuming, well, actually I don't know what, I'm not even going to try and find out. I was just wondering what will happen if I try and use that industrial drill there on the actual foundations. I'll just put that there for now. So at least I'll be able to start cooking my own food now. Just out of curiosity. Oh, it's yes, +1, isn't it? Just grab a normal one while we're at it. Come on, we're nearly there. Grab that. Put that one down there. Yay! Thought that was the case. Yeah, we're into the summer at the moment, so... Aha! Right, so I need 250 cooked meat. How much raw meat have we got? Well, I've got enough to do it. It's just I want to get a hat for Rainbow. Rainbow's hat went missing. So we can make that using the cooking pot over there. But, I mean, we're off to a reasonable start. I mean, the next sort of thing I'm into, you see, is going to be things like the Fabricator, though. If we look at these... I mean, something like that, we need oil, and I don't know where to find oil. I haven't found where there's some beavers. I mean, there's plenty of water areas around here. So there's got to be some beaver dams around there somewhere. That'll save me having to get chitin or keratin. We're also going to have to get into, well, what's the cooker need? So there's the fabricator itself we need, the cooker, the industrial cooker, yep, that's into oil, a lot of metal ingot we're going to have to go through. But I did notice we were getting ingots off some of those loot drops, so that's tempting. The industrial forge, that usually needs a ton of metal as well. So I can see me building some more forges and doing a lot of metal runs to be able to basically get more metal ingots. So we're at least off to a reasonable start in the basics. I mean, I did manage to find a few more loot drops. The last ones were yellow, I've noticed. They seem to, I don't know if they're in sync or something, whether they go through some sort of same colour or something through some sort of cycle, but that was a bit weird. So we've been getting a few more things. I mean, I got these tech trapdoors, for example. I've got some, you know, a pair of staircases there. I've got a bunk bed. I've got a primitive camera. These are all things I'll be able to break down. So I'm keeping them at the moment because, although I've got, for example, I've got some tech door frames and I've got a metal dinosaur gate. The trouble is, these are just the normal ARK loot. What I'm interested in is S plus structures. I prefer that over the normal stuff you get with ARK. So the plan would be to grind all that sort of stuff down. So still an incentive to keep going out there and getting items from those loot drops. And then when we actually get that fabricator, and then we get all the way up to the actual metal grinder that we've got, we'll be able to then just get a ton of resources out of those. And of course, there's still missions to do as well. I mean, we haven't even started. I mean, what we've got? Bulldog fetch. Oh, that's interesting. So you get, so as well as getting the hexagons, you're going to get some sort of like buff where egg hatching increases. Well, 36. That's good. Choose your own adventure gets health regen. Circuit chase. Ah, now that's tempting because you could get... Oh, you just get more valuable resources. Code red. You get bonuses for hexagons. Well, we haven't got round to doing crops yet anyway, to be fair. Feroxes. No! I don't want to beat up little feroxes, that's cruel. I'll have to do it, like, but... stamina drain... Ooh, increased mating. Well, the mating interval decreases. Parasa, your metabolism's more efficient. So these do seem a bit better for your, you know, comparison to what you were getting out of Genesis 1, I'd say, because you're getting a buff as well. Because if it's anything like Genesis 1, I fully expect that any loot that I get out of these is just going to be garbage. You know, because I want like level 134 anyway. And the trouble is you can't recycle it. Hatchlings grow faster. Oh, resources. Oh, that's good. Star dolphin harvesting health. Alright, interesting. So we're going to get more resources. Oh, cool, that's quite useful actually. And they last a certain amount of time, which is interesting. Longer to find. Oh, okay. Survive the ARK. The wildlife is more friendly, so you increase taming speed. Oh, you get out. So there you get a retro 20th century canoe skin. Oh, that looks good if you get a Viking one. That's more tech one. I think I'd probably prefer that one actually. Stoked Velonosaurs, everyone gets it. I suppose a lot of these kind of like make sense if you're just running on the official servers, to be honest, because I mean, for me I'm running an unofficial server on the default settings, to be fair. Resource gathering is the same. I haven't boosted that as far as I recall. It's really just things like the mating intervals, the hatching intervals, the time taking to tame things. That's been reduced to save me time. So some of these would be useful, some of them I'd probably not notice anyway. And because I'm using S+, the crops get gathered automatically anyway. At least once I get that all set up. So that's not too bad of a start, I must admit. I mean, we've got the basics going. We want to move on to the more advanced stuff, for it means I need to go out and find somewhere out there must be oil, which I haven't noticed yet. I mean, there's water there, suggesting there's probably, if I go down the depths, I'll be able to get oil from probably rocks in the water. I could also bring the Basilosaurus, because that was the plan, was always to bring, I think I was going to bring Basil, I think, versus Boris, and they produce oil automatically anyway, so that gives me another incentive to bring him across. The cementing paste, well, I'll have to start going out looking for some beavers. So, yeah, I think that's the next phase, is going to be the industrial phase. But that's all for another episode.